Recording from question 15. This is a passage. Let's quickly read the passage and answer the questions. Every human-made object sent into orbit around Earth will meet a fiery death. It will fall out of orbit and be promptly eradicated by our atmosphere. Or two things happen. Either it will fall out of orbit and be promptly eradicated by our atmosphere, destroyed by atmosphere, else it will be left for dead in an orbital graveyard of decommissioned spacecraft destined to pollute our exosphere and slowly but surely follow the same path back to our home planet. The first, more violent choice is preferred. When the life cycle of a spacecraft ends, it's formally decommissioned, its mere presence in the orbit is a hazard. To sustain it would be costly. Required resources include the labor force to follow and study its movement, along with fuel to keep it on track. It will be very costly because you need resources to keep track of its movement, you need fuel to keep it on track. So it's anyway a hazard in space. I've been studying the problem for years. However, as I dived deeper into the practicalities of these projects, a formidable conundrum, a dilemma, a puzzle unfurled, one that transcends the realm of architecture and echoes the intricacies of space exploration at large. So there's a problem. What is that problem? The quandary revolved around the complex logistics of ferrying essential material around the cosmic expanse. The crux of the matter extends beyond architectural innovation, encompassing the critical challenge of establishing and enduring. And so, the main thing that the author is talking about is this. I'm only summarizing the main point. So, the author is talking about that it's not just about architectural innovation, how to design a spacecraft. The challenge of establishing an enduring and reliable connection between our home planet and these extraterrestrial outposts. How do you have an enduring and reliable connection between the Earth and your spacecraft? While using resources on the moon for some of the construction holds promise, a stable tether binding to Earth remains essential throughout each habitat's life cycle. This multifaceted puzzle spurred an alternative avenue of investigation, one that combines engineering ingenuity with sustainable principles to tackle the mounting predicament of space debris. How do you have a reliable and enduring connection between the Earth and the spacecraft, which will also do something else? What is that? It will take care of the problem of space debris. What if the tether could be the space debris itself? The link could be the space debris itself. That's what he is asking. The strongest reason to halt the creation of space debris is the inherent wastefulness of the practice. As it stands, traditional rocket launches are a significant impediment to sustainable space exploration. The biggest problem is that traditional rocket launches are bad for sustainable space exploration. Even supposedly reusable technology, for example, SpaceX's Falcon 9, is not sustainable. Not just wasting fuel, but the rocket stages that are cast off into the Earth's orbit and payloads themselves. It's expensive, it cannot be reused. So even the so-called reusable tech is not sustainable. The space launch industry produces fewer atmospheric emissions than aviation, and perhaps that has contributed to a lack of urgency on the predicament of space debris. However, this comparison can be misleading because rockets release pollutants at higher altitudes, potentially leading to longer lasting atmospheric effects. All right. So basically, he's saying space launches pollute. You have to find a sustainable way of decreasing space debris, of having a link between the Earth and the spacecraft. And the fact that it says that it produces fewer emissions than aviation is wrong, because it does emit at higher atmospheric levels and may do long-term damage. Which of the following statements can be concluded from the passage? So based on the main point, which one sums up the passage best? Better rockets are required that do not cast rocket stages and payloads into space. Is he talking of better engineering ingenuity? No, he's talking of something more than that. An urgent look at the space industry is not necessary. That may be misleading. He says there is a lack of urgency, but that is not correct. Rocket should ideally not be tethered to Earth. He says the space debris itself can be a tether. Rocket launches are not sustainable in terms of waste and emissions. True, that's what he said. Decommissioned spacecraft are preferable to spaces. No, exact contradiction of what he says. So the correct answer is option D. Which of the following statement best summarizes the author's view on prevalent rocket technology? It's negative. He says it's costly. It produces a lot of, uh, it's not sustainable. It's costly. It's absolutely obsolete. There is little to no engineering ingenuity. He doesn't talk about that. It's tremendously profligate. Profligate means expensive and wasteful, both of which he has mentioned. Therefore, the correct answer is C. Question 17. Based on the passage, which of the following can best help avoid space debris? Spacecraft bound to Earth, spacecraft destroyed by the atmosphere, spacecraft that orbit slowly back to Earth. This is what happens, right? One or two happens, both of which are not sustainable. Better designed and engineered rockets, did he say that? Or the debris itself acting as a space tether? Avoid space debris. No, actually it will be B, because he says that produces very little space debris. Here the debris is there, but it can act as a tether. So the answer is option B. He says the first method is preferable, the one that is destroyed by the atmosphere. So B is the answer.